Welcome back to Satisfactory. We're going to start building the assembly director blueprint here in a second. I just wanted to sort of talk a little bit about the monolith design that we've been working on. Our very first one turned out to be pretty good. It was our quartz crystal silica factory. I've only built 1/4 of it. There's a reason for that, and that's primarily because the inside and outside were on a single blueprint, and that made it very inconvenient to try to build it. So I built 1/4 of it. I'll probably have to go back to it and break it up into separate blueprints. But that was our first one, and it worked out okay, but it's going to be hard to build. So our second version, you can see the same sort of outside design, but this was built with 2 different blueprints, one for the internal stuff and then one for the external stuff. This so far is the best version of this blueprint. It was clean to build. You can see all the good stuff going up and all the good stuff coming down. You got a good sense of what's going on. This is probably at its peak. Then our third option, and this sometimes happens when you're experimenting because you keep pushing the envelope, you take a step back. Our supercomputer version, I haven't finished it yet. It's what I would call a work in progress. The innovation here is that we made use of the infinite lift trick. So that's just one giant lift for each ingredient. It looks really close. It looks really good, except it isn't going to get finished because it's going to clip to hell if I finish it. So it's going to kind of be like that, that computer tower that you have. You might have it right now that you keep taking the case off enough where you just decide to leave the case off all the way, all the time. That's going to be the supercomputer. That's going to be the supercomputer factory. I am going to change the colors though to the neon color. The purple grid's not doing it for me, so that will get updated. But the thing that we learned here, I do like the infinite lift. I also like the bars occasionally. I'm going to try one more with the infinite lifts without the bars to see how it looks. But we learned a couple things. One, as far as the internals go, we need to build that on a center point, so that way we can ensure that things won't clip outside the building. Also, I think I like, at a distance, I kind of like this color scheme as well. I don't know. There's something to be said for having those bars, the concrete bars, as kind of some separation. But that's what we're doing here, right? We're experimenting with different build techniques. So far, if I had to choose between the 3 monoliths that we just went over, I like the overall look of the second one we've built so far the best. That's my favorite one so far. But I think we can get there on this one if we can figure out how to build in a way that won't clip us. So that's what we're going to do now. I think the key here is to use exclusively 3 foundations. Now, luckily, we have we've got an easy mode item that we're trying to build. Assembly directory. Once you get to the point where you can build it, it's pretty easy to build. Anything in a constructor is the easiest to build. This is an assembler, so it's pretty easy to build. Now, what we could do is just make this blueprint contain 1. Of course, the more you do that, the more you have to sort of maintain connections, but that's okay. So let's do that. Checking the recipe real quick. Directors. So yes, it is in an assembler. Adaptive control units and supercomputers. Now we just built our supercomputer factory, so we know we have that. I don't know how many. I'll have to go back and check. I think it's like 50 per minute that we're making. Something like that. I'll have to double check that, but we don't have to know that right now. These two are pretty close, though technically 2 belts of supercomputer equals 1 belt of adaptive control unit based off of these ratios. No, wait. The opposite is true. We need 2 belts of adaptive control units to match the 1 belt of supercomputer. Okay, so that to me says something like this. I just realized I probably don't have enough stuff in my inventory for this build. I have plenty of copper sheets though. Give me a second. I want to jump back over to the original factory here. Okay, so that should be enough to get us through this part of the build. We're not planning to put this one is definitely going to be a fully encased build, so we don't need any we don't need any signage or any lighting or anything like that for this part. Okay. What'd I say? 2 to 1. I did not put anything on the ground here. And then I think just to make it a little easier to connect everything, we can probably take these 2 out. And these don't have to be touching. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put you right over here on the edge, I suppose. Let's see. Does the rule of 2 apply here? We'll send it down on the outside, so this needs to go up. Let's not worry about that quite yet. Let's get this second level. Getting all of this merged together is going to be something of a pain, I think. Let's put the nudge on this thing, see where we end up. Actually, that's probably about right. Uh-oh. We're outside the designer already. Being on just 3x3 is an extra challenge. Okay, so that's done at least. Then I think this stuff goes down this direction. We could do the same as we did over here, just opposite, right? If there's room. Right, so the supercomputers come in, and one thing we're going to make sure that we do this time is set this to the desired recipe. Okay, then this comes down, and this goes in, because we're sending everything to the top of the monolith. We're sending it up, and then inside we send it down. Except for the opposite is true. For the output, we send it up internally so we can send it down on the outside. What we'll do is we'll put in this one little industrial storage container. I think I deleted a piece of wall there. There we go. And there we go. And okay, so 2 inputs get sent in. They get sent into this industrial storage container, which basically acts as a merger. And it would probably be easier to connect here, but we are not changing it. So let's go this direction, and then you can come trying to find a reasonable height here. That's kind of a Clip City situation. Okay, let's move this. There we go. Actually, there you go. A little too soon. So then we have to split, I think. If I send 2 belts worth in, consolidated down to 1 output. Oops, sorry. I could put another one of these in, like the, okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put another one of these in here. It's going to be a little weird. We're going to directly connect you here. This will act as an overflow. I mean, there's technically no way to get twice the belts into one assembler. But we can have twice the belts in the build. So 2 belts go in here. Once they fill up here and they fill up that machine, then there will be another belt ready to go to the next level. So I think if we raise this up a little bit. I think that's it. Let's put some wall on this just to make it a little easier to build. Okay, I think we're all set. I think if we set up a couple of areas where we can power this thing up, we'll be ready to go. Let's see, if we're gonna have easy access to the construction here, then we should just put some power here. Power. I only have one machine to connect. Seems too easy. All right, so what we're dealing with this time is I don't even know what the parts that go into this. What's the other part? Adaptive control unit. M1 supercomputer. So adaptive control unit, supercomputer, output. Then we'll take that and stack it up as many times as we need. Yeah, if we try to go one level lower, it's gonna clip into that, so ain't worth it. Though technically there's already a floor here that will get stacked on, so I don't think we need this. All right, and we'll save this as the icon assembly director. Monolith a director inside. Save. Okay, cool. And since we're building that on a clean 3, that should give us plenty of room for whatever external we want to use, as long as we put this on the center point that's available to us on the inside. All right, that's the lesson we learned from Monolith 3. Cool, I think we're done. I think we are done. I'm just checking. Let's do this. Let's put this wall all the way down on this side. So that way when it comes to stacking it, it's clean connection. Cool. Okay. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.